Hi students, today I am going to explain Keynes' psychological law of consumption. This is from the fourth lesson, consumption and investment function. What do you mean by psychological law of consumption? J.M. Keynes propounded the psychological law of consumption, which forms the basis of consumption function. What do you mean by consumption function? Consumption function is the functional relationship between the two aggregates, that is the total consumption expenditure and the gross national income. Here, according to Keynes, if income increases, the consumption also increases. That is, the consumption expenditure also increases. But increase in the consumption is small amount than the increase in the income. So you see here, as income increases, consumption expenditure also increases, but increase in consumption is smaller than the increase in the income. That's why it is called the psychological law. So, it is the human nature. If the income of a man increases, otherwise income of the human beings increases than the earlier income, automatically their expenses also will come to increase. But these expenses or the consumption expenditure, otherwise the amount spent for the consumption will not be same as the increase in the income. So some part of the income they will spend for their savings. Okay, otherwise they will save. So that is the psychological law. Then this law depends upon three assumptions: ceteris paribus, existence of normal conditions, existence of laissez-faire capitalist economy. What do you mean by ceteris paribus? Other things remain the same. Then only the law will be applicable. What other things? Income distribution, then after the social customs, then taste of the people, then population growth. These should not be changed. The consumption expenditure influences only your income. Then only the law will be applicable. The next one, existence of normal conditions. The law is existence, otherwise applicable only for the normal conditions. What normal condition or this? What is the abnormal condition? Abnormal conditions like that war. So it will not be the normal condition of the economy. So war or any revolution or inflation, that is the fluctuations of the economy, that is what the money value will come to increase or decrease like that. Okay, so like that abnormal conditions, if it will come to occur, war, revolution or inflations, hyperinflations like that, it will occur, means the law will not be applicable. Why? It is the psychological one. Automatically people they will get fear in their mind if war, otherwise any epidemic diseases like that will come, means they will think in their mind for whom we have to save. Sometimes everything will come to an end, like that they will think. So this time the law will not be applicable. So the law is applicable only in the normal condition of the economy. And next one is existence of laissez-faire capitalist economy. What do you mean by laissez-faire capitalist? Laissez-faire means non-intervention. Okay, that is free capitalist economy. The law is applicable only in the free capitalist economy. That is, the government should not come to interfere in the spending, otherwise saving or income of the people. Then only the law will be applicable. So this law depends upon these three assumptions. Okay, ceteris paribus, existence of normal condition and existence of the laissez-faire economy. There are three proportions for this law, and the three proportions are: when income increase, consumption expenditure also increase, but at a smaller amount. What smaller amount of consumption expenditure increase by a smaller amount than the income. Then second proportion, the increased income will be divided in some proportion between consumption expenditure and saving. Some portion will be go to consumption, some portion will come to savings, like that. Okay, that is, it divided some proportion between consumption expenditure and saving. Then next one, increase in income always leads to increase in the consumption and saving. If income increases, both of them will come to increase. Okay, so these three proportions understood now. So once again see, if income increases, consumption expenditure also increases, but at a smaller amount. Then second one, it will be divided. Increase in income will be divided some proportion between consumption and saving. And next one, increasing in income always leads to increase in the consumption and savings. So these are the three proportions of the law. This law is, these proportions can be explained diagram. Now this psychological law of consumption can be helped with the help of the diagram. Okay. So before that you have to see the schedule, income and consumption schedule. So this income is denoted by Y and consumption denoted by Z. Then savings is S. You see here, savings, income minus consumption is equal to saving. Okay, Y minus C is equal to S. The initial income is 120, consumption also the same, and in savings, no savings, zero savings. Then after, from the initial income increases to 180, consumption also increases 170, then income minus consumption, 180 minus 170, 10, that is the same. Then again from this increase in income, again the income is increasing to 240, from 170 consumption expenditure, the expenditure also increases to 220. Then here you see income minus consumption, that is 240 minus 220, 20. The savings is also increasing. So this we are going to apply in this diagram, and we are going to explain diagrammatically this psychological law of consumption. Okay, there is proportions. Three proportions we learned now. So you see here, this is the horizontal axis and it is the vertical axis. This horizontal axis is representing income and this vertical axis is representing consumption and savings. Okay, otherwise we can say the x-axis and y-axis. X-axis represents income and y-axis represents the consumption and savings. Then this line is there now. This is denoted Y. Y means income line. Income line is the 45-degree line. Y means it is represents the income and consumption equality. Okay. Then after this line is C. C line is represents the consumption line. The consumption line is not starting from the origin. Y means it is coming from here. So this difference is there now from the starting point till this difference. This is the autonomous consumption, like that. Okay, autonomous consumption means if no income, the people they have to spend some amount for their daily consumption. So if there is no income also, that time previous savings amount they will spend for their daily expenses. So this is called autonomous consumption. So that's why this consumption line is not start from its origin. And now we are going to explain. You see here the initial income is 120 and this consumption also 120. It is coming to intersect each other equal now. So this point we can say the break even point, that is consumption and income will come to equal, no saving. Okay, so this equal is coming as called as the break even point. This already we learned the consumption function diagram. Okay, then from the initial amount 120, the income is coming to increase to 180. From 120 to 180, the income is increasing. Here also from 120 to 170, the consumption also increasing. So you see here the balance is there now. From 120 to 170, the consumption is increasing. Okay, the 120 to 180, the income is increasing. Okay, so you see here the first proportion, but the income increases, consumption also increases, but at a small than the income. Than the income, consumption is small. So like you see here 180 and 170. So it is smaller than the increase in the income. Okay. So here the saving is how much? 10. So this line is the saving. So 10. This line is there now. This is the saving. Then second proportion is what? Income and consumption is. Income is divided between some proportion to the consumption and some to saving, like that. Here we can say same proportion also we can say. What means? You see here the consumption is 120 to 170, 170 to 220, like that. So 50, 50 like that increasing, and the savings also 10 difference is there. So you see here the second proportion, what means? The income is divided between some proportion to income and some proportion to savings also. So you see here second, if the income is increasing 190 to 240 and the consumption also increasing from where? 170 to 220. So here you see here 170 to 220, it is increasing. Income also 180 to 240, it is increasing. So the saving amount is how much? 20 is the saving. You see, so first the 10, from the 10 the savings is 20. Then after third, how it is means, you see here third proportion, if the increase in income will lead to increase in the consumption as well as increase in the income. So here you see from 120 to 170, then after 170 to 220, consumption also increasing. Income how it is, savings how it is, from 10 to 20. First initially in no savings, after that savings come to increase in 10. Then after it is coming to increase in 20. So if the income will increase, both of the consumption as well as the income both will come to increase for the consumers. So this is the psychological law of consumption. It's proposed by G.M. Keynes. His full name is called as the John Maynard Keynes.